Hello, folks, friends, neighbors, Texans, people in the U.S., people across the pond. You're back with the Texas Coalition Against Data Centers, or Texas Connection, or Chat with TA. Again, I'm TA.
And I'm Miriam.
And today's word, last time we said follow the money. So today's word was a word I heard in a open session. And the word for today is cherry pick. And it kind of goes along with my cruise clothes because I've heard of some exciting city employees and upper level management that are out on Switzerland and Germany and now are on Alaskan cruise. These are my cruise clothes. So I feel like I want to be on a cruise, even though I don't have that budget that they do. You would think, I'm just going to say a city manager probably, how can he be gone that long in such a time of data center crisis?
I'm super curious which city manager we're talking about.
I would say it's one in McLennan County.
Oh, huh.
And I guess you can look around and see which city managers have been gone on a extended vacation. That sounds similar to what I described.
We'll have to look into that.
Yes. Now, I would like to talk about transparency. I know that word is being used overabundant. It's being used almost as the word infrastructure. So let's go ahead and use our word. They got infrastructure. I got transparency. It is what it is. Coke, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, Coke, that sort of thing. So there is a councilman that seemed like he was extremely transparent, and I would like to extend kudos to this guy in Falls County, especially the city of Marlin. Can you tell us what he posted on his Facebook?
Yeah, so we have Will Rowe. He said, in light of the recent news story, y'all might not have known the news story, but it had something to do with the data center.
Which one?
The one in his county.
The one in his county? I think that one had something to do with Infrakey. We've talked about that before. That's also the L2D2 Waco Data Park, the whatever you want to call it this week, that Lacey, Lakeview, Texas is pushing for up around Ross, Texas.
So he said you're free to contact him or your city council member after this. But on April 22nd, the mayor invited him to attend a meeting on April 28th with herself, her close associate, and Infrakey, the developers of the nearby Lacey Lakeview Data Center project. Because I was concerned about participating in a meeting involving a prospective data center project and the possibility of being asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement, I chose not to attend. On April 29th, the mayor's close associate provided me with a debrief of the meeting. The proposal involved constructing a data center on city-owned property at Brushy Creek outside the Marlin city limits. The discussion included detailed figures and projections that, in my personal opinion, suggested the project had potentially been under consideration for some time.
Sounds familiar. We last mentioned that the Infrakey project started way back in January of 2025 before Infrakey was even formed in March of 2025.
Crazy.
Crazy.
But very much in line with what we've been seeing across Texas. So, kudos to Will Rowe for being transparent. But like you said, the word of the day is cherry picking.
And so the interesting part is, let's go ahead and play where I heard that word cherry picking from. Right. How about that?
We'll go ahead and do that. I'm cutting over to the Hill County Commissioners Court meeting that happened yesterday, July 28th, 2026.
On the agenda for today, I come as a property owner within the district, within this county. I own quite a bit of land in other counties as well, and I'm also a farmer, so I think I speak from a lot of facets. When we look to buy property, we really look to the future investment. So we live in the 35 corridor. We know what happens here and it's growth, but it's got to be growth in the right way.
Growth in the I-35 corridor.
Restricting
I-35 corridor.
Landowners' rights isn't necessarily what we signed up for when we buy a property. We just try to make sure that we're balancing agriculture with long-term potential for growth. So I have three main points I'd like to address with the court regarding the Chapter 60 Agricultural Development District. First, these districts, we need absolute transparency and explicit opt-in protections. These agricultural districts carry the power of eminent domain and statutory assessment rights. So as you know, when I hear the words eminent domain, I definitely perk my ears up because it's not something that I like as a landowner. I like to have rights and I like to be have a say in what happens with my property. Furthermore, I looked into these petitioners and it seems like they're cherry picking which parcels they've added into their petition. So I question why they're leaving some parcels out and adding others.
If you've been following our group long enough, you've heard a lot of conversation about these agricultural development districts. And if you're in Hill County especially, you heard a lot about agricultural development districts as they are trying to figure out how to deal with multiple data centers being proposed.
And we'd like to say this commentary presented to the Commissioner's Court was there wasn't even a hearing. They were just following the rules of the Ag Code 60 about letting the public know and letting know about the public publication and the hearing to come. And again, that word cherry pick was there. It's kind of interesting, from a forensic interviewer part or a psychological part, your mind has a problem trying to change facts to present. And when you say cherry pick, it's interesting that it appears that that person has property right next to the data center. Go look it up, take a peek at it. When you say cherry picking, I would think that the people right there next to it, look at all those names that are involved, who's going to benefit, because they all say, all the data centers that I've seen so far, on their websites or things, it says expandable. Well, why do you think it's expandable? Nobody wants to be next to one, including the same people that are pushing for it. They're selling their property right next to it. That's the easiest way to say it.
And when someone says that they own a lot of land in the surrounding areas, they say that they're
counties.
In the counties.
Other counties.
Mm-hmm. And then they say something about being a farmer, but also looking at the future investment of the property. It's not really normal language used by people who have intentions of protecting agriculture or keeping the land for family farming.
Sounds like more of a flip and flop and make money to me.
Almost something that a realtor would do.
A realtor.
But
then you'd have to investigate into every person's background and see what you find.
It's so much work.
Yeah, it's so much work.
So.
It's tedious work. But again, people are out there cruising around during a data center crisis and having fun.
And we've seen 2 years of cherry picking to find the right people to make sure that those data centers happen. So,
We'll continue to follow the money and let you know. In the meantime, what I do encourage is we the people have the power. We the people have the power to request open records. We the people have the power to look up on the internet and see who these people are, see what kind of jobs they're involved in related to the data center. Because I've said several times that it's big tech, data centers, and the stakeholders. Those are the other people that are involved. That's electrical people, that's gas generator people, especially realtor or people that form realtor type groups to sell off land next to the data center.
A good cherry picked group of people are definitely going to benefit should these data center projects go through.
That is very true. See
All
you
right.
next time.